All right, what's up, everybody? You're on deck with Third Eye Cam, and today's date is May 2nd, 2020, and the time is 14:22, 2:22 for my civilians. I've been waiting on these guys to show up all day. It's been clear up until now, and I'm at my residence. And look at all these planetoids and asteroids that have shown up, like literally middle of a camera, planetoid, in this venting atmosphere. And behind it, another planetoid, and way back there is a whole lot of OCG, object clustering groups. There's another set of I guess I would say that's asteroids mixed with debris in OCG. So I'm gonna kind of take a walk around and see where else we got some more. We got some up by the sun also. I'm gonna zoom in close, but I had to catch this before it left today. These things are getting close. Now for a while I haven't not seen any Mr. Magic chemtrails. I'm trying to get my bearings straight because this thing kind of crept up on me real fast, and there's no need for me to get my 35mm. These things can be seen in the clear. Wow, there's a moon. So let me zoom in close. All right, so there's a little moon that popped out on the side of that OCG, or that planetoid. I'm thinking it's like two planetoids. It's a moon and the planetoid in the middle, and behind that, like I said, is another planetoid. It just went into obscurity behind this cloud in the center of the camera. And then we got all these coming up. That's definitely a planetoid. The cloud mass at the bottom is the actual base cloud that's intercepting and intermixing with the atmosphere, and above that, kind of like an egg sitting on a nest, is the actual planetoid or asteroid. Reason why we can see that one is because it's at an angle where I can actually see it. The one's closer to me, the cloud base is right on top of our head, and that's what Sam Hoffman meant by it looks like a snail carrying its shell. And all of them seem to have that same characteristic. This one is more on top, but you can still see the planetoid behind it. And like these things are getting close. I think this is part of the Atlas group. It's hard to tell because they're so close. I've never seen clouds like this, so that further tells me that whatever is coming in is coming in really close to the Earth. That's definitely an asteroid. You can tell. I can see it. I'm really curious to go get my camera and just set up and let it catch the whole thing. At some point, I'm looking for a planetoid to jump out of, or some kind of rock. And it's gonna be well lit by the sun, kind of like in a rainbow pattern because of the way it has to come through our atmosphere. So it's gonna light up like a rainbow once it hits the right distance from the sun, and the sun arcs it with its light. But for now, this is all we have. White clouds, bases with tails sweeping behind them, with an orb sitting on top of the white cloud base. And all of them are showing that characteristic. Even the little asteroid, it's got an atmosphere around it. It's got a sweep and debris around it from it melting due to the sun. If you notice, everything is melting and it's being pulled towards the sun. All the debris. I wish we could actually see the actual planetoid, but I guess it's too far out for us to see. Or it's just that obscured from it being that far out. But no, nevertheless, it's nice to see. Like this one shows up really well. Out of all of them, the spherical look of it showing up really well. And unfortunately, everybody thinks these are regular clouds, but they are not. Trying to see if I see anything striking that might be out of the norm. Everything seems to look, I mean, this is out of the norm, but it looks normal. And I'm pretty sure the Earth has been in this position before, and all other planetoids that you might stand on. But what we're trying to see is if anything shows up like I've caught before, or more definite, more pronounced. All right, well, we're gonna take a break here in a few. I just wanted to get this. Oh, there's a planetoid. It's kind of faded. You can see the craters. That's the one I was hitting on earlier. So you can see the sphere of it. Matter of fact, I should just get me in here so you can actually see. Give me a second. Put my shades on. Alright, so yeah, like I said, you got the cloudage, all these clouds, planetoid right here. That's just your sphere. And the cloud base up under. And it's got a tail sweeping. Over here, tail sweep. Sphere somewhere in the cloudage. There it is right there. You see the shadow of it. And the atmosphere buffering off of it. That's one of them. Over here, I'm thinking there's a whole lot of debris right here. I don't really see anything pronounced like a planetoid or sphere. But yeah, it's just a whole tail sweep. Back there is something real big. We can't see it yet, but it should eventually show up. Yeah, that was beautiful. That's real beautiful right there. I like that. All right, we'll be back. I'm a little rough right now. I was laying down watching TV, kind of watching movies. I haven't watched movies in a long time because when I'm not working, I'm chasing the sky when it's clear like this. I mean, I'll spend the whole day out here. But that's how I'm able to bring you all a lot of good footage. Most of the time, it's cloudy. Whatever big planetoid that comes over is getting so close to the Earth that it's clouding out us, and the news won't say, hey, we got a planetoid that's causing all this. They'll say, hey, we don't know where this weather's coming from. I'm about to write them some letters and explain to them what's going on. So either I'm gonna be right or I'm gonna be wrong. I'd rather be right or wrong versus lukewarm. But this is interesting. This is the changing of the skies. This stuff is gonna be here to stay for a while, and it's not gonna change anytime soon. All right, so we'll be back third eye cam. I've just taken a second look, and the time is 14:32. 2:32 for my civilians who don't understand military time. Skies changed a little bit, so I just wanted to get more caption. Oh, there's my planetoid. Got it. There. Let me zoom in. Alright, so you can see the planetoid starting to rise up out of the cloud base. It's got its own little sphere, center of the camera. And that's its tail, so it makes sense. So it's all the way above my head. Asteroid off to the side. Venting on both sides, got a tail sweep. It's hard to make these things out sometimes, and then they come into clarity. Again, like I said, most people don't even know what's going on. Everybody's too busy, caught up on foolishness. This is another one. I want to bring the sun into view. That's the one we saw earlier going into the sun. But you see all that. Sometimes my next question is there any kind of life on or in these asteroids, planetoids? Like really? Whether it be sentient or native, like born there, grown there. Like, you know, if life as in plants or animal, creature. No, that one looks real thick. You can tell it's got a lot of debris going on within it. A lot of mixture of rock and ice, water. And that's the one we saw earlier, moved on. Asteroid down below it. And the one way out there, I could not see it because it was below the tree line. I bet if I take a drive, I'll see a whole lot. But this planetoid is really getting pronounced. At some point, it's probably going to really show itself before it dissipates over my head. It moved pretty dang fast too. Starting to see an asteroid or a planetoid at a higher elevation. It's real faded. See the thickness of the cloud is pointing to another. Well, that's the tail coming off of it. Something that's further out, but its tail has dropped down to our atmosphere's level. There's a lot of moon rocks right here. You can see it just below, peeking outside of the cloud. That's a moon type of an asteroid. It's spherical. It's got a crater in it that I can see. Center of the camera. Don't worry, I'll point it out with an arrow. We'll come back to it once it gets more pronounced. My planetoid is getting more pronounced. It's got its own little cloud pattern, and what I'm talking about is this right here, spherical. It's within the clouds, but it's got its own cloud pattern that's exploding out. And then it's got its baseline, which is all this debris in front of, coming from northwest to southeast. I think this might be our asteroid atlas. Comet Atlas. Some of the debris from it. Some knucklehead on YouTube said it was in the southern hemisphere, but like I said, my skywalk on my phone says it's up here near the sun. So this could only be it at Africano and I think Soho or Blancpain are the ones near the sun. So this has to be them showing up in broad daylight. And again, I'm wondering why the news is not covering this. Why isn't the news speaking about this? But you heard it right here. You heard it right here, folks, on Third Eye Cam News. Channel Third Eye Cam News. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get it anywhere else because they're getting paid to look the other way. They're not paying me so I can speak about it freely, and I wouldn't take their stinking money no way. Money's gonna be worthless soon. Asteroids coming into pronunciation. Way up there, past our lower cloudage, is a planetoid. I can see the outline of it. I'll point it out. It's got a spherical look. And then here comes my other cloud. There's a sphere right there. You can see the sphere within the clouds. Higher elevation, like way out in space. It's got its cloud sweep coming off of it. My planetoid and its moon have moved on. Alright, for real, I'm gonna take a break, and ain't nothing more really to see. Oh, you can see the waves coming off of it, from that planetoid. Within the clouds above it. It's got a waves going from east to west directly. And that's right above that ball of rock and ice. And this asteroid is venting off really well. You can actually see the rock in the middle, and as it's coming this way towards me, it's actually venting off. So I'm gonna go get my camera and go from there. Need to get some close-up footage, so we'll be back. Third Eye Cam. All right, real quick, just wanted to get this comet head and its tail. Like I said, that's the comet head right there. Zoom in on it. I hope my camera's focusing right. Seems to be really bright. I'm gonna go ahead and check it, and if it ain't, we'll do it over. All right, just Third Eye Camera. Just want to get some of this footage before I call it. It's already past my head. There's a big part of the comet right there. You can see the ball of whatever that planetoid is. The ice. I don't know if it's ice and rock or just ice or rock alone. Definitely ice and rock. It's got a sweeping pattern off of it and a tail. And like I said, there's the head of it. And so we'll be back. Alright, we're on deck with Third Eye Cam, and just gonna get some photos of these comets passing over my head. The time is 14:45, 2:45 for my civilians, and the date is May 2nd, 2020. And this one looks like a bird. See the wing sweep coming off of it, and the head, comet's head. It's a planetoid inside. Let me go a little dark. Hold on. Too bright out here. Alright, just making some adjustments. We got a comet head right here too. Let me zoom in on it. It's got a tail sweep coming off of it, and it's sweeping all the way back to here. Got a planetoid right here, breaching off atmosphere, more specifically on the side where the sun is burning it. The other side is not as much, the dark side of it. Real beautiful. Like I said, this bird pattern looks real sweet. I'll take a quick walk out past the building. We got a planetoid right here. You see it really well. That's a planetoid. See the atmosphere sweeping off of it. That might be the actual comet head. It looks like it. And the tail sweeping. Never seen nothing like that before. There's the sun. Got a buzzard. And it's always somebody getting in my way. Looking at me crazy, but they're the crazies. Alright, so I'm gonna take some pictures real quick. We'll be back. Alright, we're back, third.cam, and the time is 17:55. 5:55 for my civilians, and we got a few planetoids that are out and about, and we got the moon, half moon coming up with debris in between it and the earth. And there's the sun. Today the sun smiles at the moon and the moon smiles back halfway. So I'm really just kind of taking it easy today. Not too much filming, but then again the skies have been mostly clear, and you know, I keep my window open so when I see these clouds come in, I come out and get them. I've been looking for anomalies all day. I got a few, and that's back towards my north, that right there, my northeast. And this anomaly is right below the moon. Once I get a clearing, is my east. And then we got all this out here, these anomalies, which are nothing more than, look at that low one. Jesus Christ, that's a big one. The one that's lower is connected to all this, but I see that one. See, it's got a triangle look to it. And the one below it, those are actual rocks. You can see the atmosphere sweeping off of them, both of them. That's beautiful. Kind of stop right here. And I've been catching a tan, but it's been real cool. During the cold time, I caught a big tan. I noticed my summer tan is very distinct from my winter tan. And it's not even been hot yet, but I've been getting irradiated from just being out surveying the skies like this. I'll show you all in the, later on. But it's very distinct. I've never had a tan like that distinct in this type of weather. That's how I know that, and that's the reason why I kind of stopped in the shade right where I am. Kind of right here in the shade, right there. I'm gonna step out into the sun, but I'm gonna go back into some shade so I can get a better look at the sky. See a spot I'm gonna go to. Like I said, there's the sun. That's really distinct looking. I think that's one of my other comets. Nothing really about the sun other than the tail coming off of wherever it's connected to. I don't know how far it is connected. Oh, this is really beautiful because we're in this weird time of many objects approaching the earth, and we can't really make them out yet, but they are there. Like these objects, I've caught too many. And you can see them slowly spiraling around. So what I'm gonna do is pick a spot, because I really want to get this asteroid low to the horizon with my camera, my 35mm, while I'm continuously narrating throughout this. And this right here is like, looks like a huge rock. I'm looking at the way the atmosphere is dispersing. It's a big, huge rock in the center. It's pushing off a lot of atmosphere, and it's got a tail behind it. So it looks rectangular, and it's gravitating towards the sun. And then that's the dark spot that we can't see because the Earth's atmosphere is camouflaging it. And it's got a tail behind it, and it has an atmospheric breach. And then we got all this spinning around the moon. So this all this I want to catch. So I got 4 anomalies around me. I got the sun, a big asteroidal, a lot of asteroidal bodies, and that's a sphere. You see it coming out the bottom, right above the trees. That's a sphere. Oh my God, it's got to be one of my planetoid moons. Jeez, let me get to my spot so I can set up real quick. I need to get that before it goes away. And actually, it's coming from west to east. So I'm gonna get that. So we'll be back. I'm gonna set my camera up because I need to put my camera on that before it disappears. So I can. All right, we're back. Back on my GoPro. I've set my camera up. You can see it over there at that anomaly right there. What I'm gonna do is capture it with still moving and then time lapse it and add it to the film so I can see exactly how it moves. Hopefully I get enough of it that will give a good effect to what I'm doing. So this is definitely gonna be a shorter day with all the captions and finds, and you know, that's always a good thing. I didn't expect to see much today. This is day 2, but I'm getting enough. Like this asteroid, and you can see it sweeping through. Really beautiful sense of the camera. Let me go make some adjustments with my camera. I need to get that in there also. All right. So pretty much what I want to do with my 35mm is capture, with it sitting still, capture these anomalies, and once I speed them up with a fast-forwarded time lapse, we should see some kind of movement, and that's what this that portion is going to be about. As you can see, 35mm hitting that, and it's just going to be interesting to capture it. Speed it up and just give it a little speed and watch it do its thing. You know, these asteroids coming in are really just astounding. I would like to believe these are just Earth clouds, but they have unique patterns that don't really show up as standard Earth clouds, which blow by really fast. They sit really static in the sky, and it takes them hours to, you know, just within an hour time cap, you'll see them cross the sky. Clouds don't really do that. And these things hold static, they hold a pattern. And you can see the depth of the pattern within, you know, it's like you can see this how, what am I trying to say? I'm at a loss for words right now. I'm so astounded. You can see how solid they are. That's what I'm trying to say. Like this little asteroid up top in the middle. It's really solid. You can really see it coming out now as it's rolling. Make sure my camera's on it. That's what I'm going to really get up on. There we go. Get up on that one. Alright, so I'm gonna take a break from the GoPro and just let the 35mm run, and let it keep capturing this anomaly specifically. If anything else pops up, we'll be back with the G Pro 3IC. Alright, what's good everybody? Third Eye Cam back. Pretty much just got these anomalies that are closer into more specifically over here, that cloud anomaly stretching across. Right there, that cloud anomaly was actually planetoid. One planetoid, 2 asteroids following behind it, and they fade out so fast the way they roll. But I actually got them on the time lapse with my 35mm, which is on my backpack. There's the sun settling in the west, and there's the moon right here. More anomalies coming, but we did get some really good ones today with the asteroids that did come through, and I caught one comet head, so that's a positive right there. I like that. That was awesome. I'm gonna find out exactly which comets it was, so that way when I label it, I think it was Comet Atlas and Africano. I'm gonna find out on my phone easily. But yeah, that was a pretty good day. And I did get Jupiter this morning, but that's gonna be a whole separate video. So 2 videos in one day. And that sun's bright. Whew. Oh, like I was saying, let me show you my tan. It is really distinguished. Let me pull off my watch. Like, this is my complexion, but I'm a tad bit lighter. My winter complexion shows it lighter, and I've noticed all winter we've been getting irradiated to some degree. And I'll turn my camera. We've been getting irradiated to some degree. Taking off my watch right now. Sorry about that. I want to stop rolling. Alright, so real quick. Alright, you can see my arm. Alright, let me fix this. Alright, so that's my summer tan. Now, where my watch is, you see how bright? That's my winter tan. I've been getting really burned. So you can see the difference between my summer tan from last year. Really, it never really went away. It'll fade. But since I come out and do this as much as possible, and I don't wear sleeves, it's been, even when it was chilly back in March, February, March, I still wear short sleeves. And I think, what video was that? Video I did a couple months ago. It was cool out, but I was still getting irradiated. So that's what that's from. Yeah, but it's just been interesting. Very interesting. But it's always a pleasure to hang out with you all. If you got friends, let them know about me. I know it's hard for a lot of people to grasp the concept of this guy walking out surveying the sky and you can't see what he's seeing and he's making things up. No, I promise you I'm not making things up. This is a real deal. Whatever that is right there and everything else that I've caught, other than the sun and the moon and the sky, that's not cloudage. Like this little line right here, that's even though we can't see the comet, now the earth is so-called round, right? So these comets come in, or these asteroids come in and skip off the surface and they go back out into space. What we'll see is their partial trails, and they'll skip up back off into space, and then they'll come back down, pulled by the earth's so-called gravity or electromagnetic pulling, and it'll come back and hit somewhere else on the earth. You know, and you just got to look at it realistically. It might come across the Atlantic and then skip down to South America and come across like Puerto Rico, bounce back out. You know, I'm talking about the actual asteroid route, come back out and hit you know, down in South Pole, where it might actually make a landing or get pushed off into space. So you got to understand how the earth works. If it is indeed round, like the moon and all these other planets that I keep seeing, then somehow rocks, asteroids or whatever that comes from deep outer space will bounce all around the earth. So we're only seeing a piece of the puzzle. My location is just a piece of the puzzle. So all the other earth watchmen and sky watchmen, my message to you is don't pull each other down during these times, especially now. And it has nothing to do with COVID-19. I think sometimes it's just a setup because they don't want us to see what's coming. But I know a lot of people are dying. But if people are dying from like heart attacks and other diseases and they blaming it all on COVID-19, and that's a setup. That's just my personal, professional observation. And you can't be mad at that. I'm not a sheeple, never have been. And I've made a lot of enemies because I actually use my brain. I don't follow everybody. I'm not a follower. I'm mostly a leader and a lot less of a follower, especially with my research. Everything I research, I question everything and I research everything to lead me to a logical explanation. And I'm not looking for a fairy tale. This is not a fairy tale for me. I'm just looking for reality. I don't want to be one of those that looks up and realizes like, oh shoot, the earth is about to be crushed by a rock or you know what I mean? Something ridiculous. Or destroyed by whatever might come from outer space. Other than just my love for looking up at the sky, the sun and the moon and the stars. I just have a big passion for it. And that's something that I can't quench. It just is. It happens, and that's why I slowly got all my equipment. And all this stuff was not cheap, and it was not a waste. Because I'm gonna pick up something astronomical one day, and nobody else is gonna pick up. And I've already done that with a few of my videos, like that little picture of me catching that UFO that blew by that 757 doing freaking Mach 9, and it just cut through the atmosphere like nothing. That was so real. And I was out here when I did it. In fact, I was standing right there where that dirt is. I was standing right there, and that was during what was that, 2019? I think it was October. Yeah, October. And the picture that I did get of that, it was coming from here, the aircraft, and I had my telescope on it. That's a long lens connected to my 35mm, and the craft was coming this way. Matter of fact, traveling that same trajectory as this line, and I caught it right about here, and the thing blew by, and I got one snapshot of it, and my 35mm was snapping at a continuous rate, and that just irked me because I wish I would have been rolling, and I could have caught the whole thing and then snapshotted it. So this is really hard to do, honestly. I've caught some phenomenal things. Wasn't even trying. I just did, and I wasn't even looking for them. Like all the little UFOs I caught, that was not man-made. I don't think man has got that much. We have not advanced that far yet. If we had, we would have found a cure for this COVID. Unless they're waiting for the population to die off, then that's some conspiracy crap, and that makes people who you trust worth less, all the way up to your freaking president, your governors, your mayors, people that you let be elected officials and be put in charge of everything that happens around your city or your dwelling. And that's not me trash talking them. I really don't care for politics. I know where it all stemmed from. For one, control. Well, no, that's number two. Yeah, number one, control. And they got their freaking structure. Cardinal. They got the structure from the Bible and Masonics. We do know that everything's ran on a Masonic order. But yeah, so if you think my page is a joke, please just dismiss yourself. I don't need hecklers. This is a serious page, and I know a lot of y'all who are not my color and take this for serious. I don't joke about that, because I've been really understanding races for a longest time, and I've traveled all around the world, been everywhere except for China and Russia. I've hit everywhere else minus China and Russia, and specific parts of Europe like England and Britain. But I have been to France, have been to Africa, have been to the Middle East, have been to Australia, and all out in Asia minus China. Been to Japan, Hawaii. Hawaii might be our 50th state, but it's nothing like what you could drive around and see here in the United States. It's totally different. So with that being said, I've seen a lot of different races, and all your races are is different cultures. They're called different names in the Bible. All people did was evolved through their civilization and changed the names to Caucasian, Asian, Mexican, Spanish, and African. All those are new names. Biblically, they're older names, like Asters and Moabs. Why am I not? I can't think of these names right now. They were called differently in the Bible. I'm not gonna go into that. I really don't want to go into that. Not yet. Still working my magic with getting it all up here before I do anything on that. With that being said, I bid you all a good day. Hope you all having a good day wherever you are. I have a PayPal. I'll be giving you all the information if you would like to send anything. I don't care if you send like a penny, $1, 50 cents. I don't care. It will help me to help you, help us see different things around the world. At some point, I'm gonna start traveling around the world and getting different pictures once this virus is up, and you see what's going on around the world. All right, for now, it's always been a pleasure. Please like, watch, subscribe, and share to your friends, and we'll keep putting out these videos. All right, Third Eye Cam, poof.